Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of That's What She Said. Now, today I'm very, very excited, and I'm already going to embarrass myself. It's Kayceeedilla.
Yes.
Thank God. I think for so many years, I've like joked around and been like, can I get a Kayceeedilla? And so I cannot get it through my brain that that's not how you say
I think
it.
people say that unironically.
Okay, so Casey, do you go by Casey?
Yeah, I go by Casey. Yeah.
Okay, I'll just stick to the Casey before I butcher it again.
No, it's fine.
But today I have Casey. Casey, welcome. We are very excited to have you.
I'm excited to be here.
Yay.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Now we're gonna get into a lot more about you and your stream and all of that. But to warm up, we do like to start with our spicy spinner.
Oh, okay.
So
Spicy spinner.
it's always a good time. So feel free to spin. If it's something you hate, we'll respin it again. If you want to just put it on something, you can do that too. Okay.
I'm excited.
All right. We just fixed it today too. Thank you, Nathan. Shout out Nathan. He fixed it. What is it? I can't even see. Hot take?
Can I get a respin?
Respin it. Which one do you want, girl? I got you. You want worst date?
Give me the worst date one.
Oh,
what a coincidence.
isn't it crazy how that always works out? Okay, worst date story. I'd love to hear it.
Okay, so worst date. I think this is subjective as to whether or not it was the worst date. It could be the best date in somebody's eyes, but it was my worst date, quote unquote worst date. So I remember I went out with this guy. We got dinner. We saw a movie, right? And we had some pretty similar interests. We were both pretty into cartoons, comic books, anime, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So after the dinner, after the movie, he was like, "Oh, do you want to go to a comic book store?" I was like, "Yeah, sure. I don't want the date to be over. We're having a good time." Right? So he's driving. We pull up to the comic book store and then we park and he opens his center console. And I was like, "Oh, what's going on?" And then he reaches in there and then grabs I didn't realize what it was at the time, but he grabs this big pouch. And I was like, "Oh, that's weird. What do you need that for?" And then we get out of the car. We go into the comic book store. I thought we were just there to look around. I thought we were just there to hang out, look at some stuff. And then we don't even look around the store. We just go straight to the back. And I was like, "What are we doing here?" We go straight to the back, and there's tables set up in the back, and it's for Yu-Gi-Oh.
Oh.
No.
Okay.
That's not why this was the worst date. But we pull up to the back tables. There's one guy sitting alone, and I guess that's his opportunity to sit down. So he sits down. He pulls me a chair up, and he lays out what I realize now is his deck of cards.
Right.
Brought to the comic book store.
Okay.
And then they just start dueling. It's like the cartoon. They just start dueling.
No comment.
And no comment. Didn't even tell me what was going on.
No.
And I'm just what's happening?
Oh my God.
And they go into it. I think I'm sitting there for a good 30, 40 minutes of just watching them duel. And what made it the worst date was that he lost. And I just kind of felt really awkward. I was like, so
Do you have to console him?
Yeah,
you're fine.
It's okay. You'll get him next time, champ. So then it was kind of awkward because so am I going home? Are you taking me home? Or
Right. Or to another Yu-Gi-Oh duel.
Maybe a rematch somewhere else though.
Oh my God. And you
And then there was never a second date after that. Yeah.
Well, after 40 minutes, I mean, that's kind of
just sitting there. And we had already gone through a full date prior to, and I went in not even knowing what was going on. So.
Oh my God. I thought when you said that he was pulling out the bag that he was going to go steal a bunch of...
Yeah.
I'm such a bad mind. I'm like, oh, he's going to steal you a bunch of comic books.
Yeah, how romantic, right?
He really cares about it.
I think I would have gone differently if he won. Right?
Right,
Maybe if he went
celebratory.
What a flex,
Get some drinks, celebrate.
Maybe there would have been a second date if he had won.
So if he sees this, you didn't get a second date because you lost and you're a loser.
It's because he didn't have a blue eyes white dragon. That's why. That's the reason why.
The other guy, you're like, hold on, what you got over here?
Yeah, what cards you got?
Oh my God. Yeah, that is pretty bad. I gotta say, I've never been a Yu-Gi-Oh!
Me neither.
Card
Me neither.
in general. I mean, I like watching people do packs of the
pack
Pokemon.
openings?
Yeah.
Those are so fun to watch.
I've been watching, I think that XQC and NMP have been, I think they've started on Magic the Gathering.
Magic the Gathering, yeah. I've
So
seen
they've
that
been doing the
too.
packs because I guess there's one in there. There's like one card, a one of one that's
Like
worth
a super rare.
$2 million essentially. No, and there's like
Is that
one
what it
ring.
is?
But it has to be holographic. Yeah.
Nerd. No.
Magic the Gathering connoisseur.
It's like I don't know how I would know this, but but I think so. It comes with like an actual ring, right?
Oh.
Oh, I thought that they got like a
special printing.
oh, I thought they got like a cool ring
Oh,
with it.
it's like the Pokemon like foil cards,
Yeah.
like super rare, like life savings worth.
God.
Like
Well, silly me. I thought they were getting a cool ring out of it. But I do like watching them open. Like more specifically, I like watching XCC open them because he doesn't pronounce a single thing on the card right.
my God.
It's hilarious, and he's so
That's what makes
confident.
it so funny, like so entertaining to watch.
I love it. Okay, so you guys,
Immediately.
I know.
Tina.
we're gonna be shocked that Brooke is pouring herself a drink. I never do this, you guys. I never do this, especially not on this podcast. But before I spin, I'm gonna spin mine as well. But before that, I want to make our drinks. So I'm just gonna pour. I didn't. You guys will be proud of me. Why are they laughing? Was that enough? Was that a no? A little bit more. Maybe that was.
Is that
maybe
enough?
that was a lot. I don't know. I'm not like bartenders where they can like close their eyes and do like the pour.
Oh yeah.
Maybe one day I could be like that. I think that would be really cool for me. Okay, and then I'm just gonna. Oh my goodness, I'm getting
she
fancy.
looks so nice.
Let me just. I'm so sorry. Okay, I knew that I should have done that too. That's
And that
my
was with
bad.
your eyes open.
I thought I could confidently spin it. Don't worry, guys. I'm just gonna. I'm sorry. If the table's like really sticky and dyed blue later, I'm sorry. Okay. It is time for my spin, and I specifically poured drinks to get ready for this. Now, I'm actually gonna select my own. And I'm gonna put it on secret, okay?
Ooh, okay.
Now, I'm gonna put it on secret. Now, this is like, I've
You've been preparing for this.
been prepared for this. All right. So, my secret today is for you, actually.
Okay.
You are our first ever recipient of our Spotlight series here at 100 Thieves. Yes. You are the first ever. Yes. Yes. So,
Oh my goodness.
yeah. So, very exciting stuff. I mean, obviously, you're here on the podcast. So we're excited to have you, but you are our first ever. And keep in mind, we had over 700 applicants, lots of people. So you're our first one.
Oh my gosh, I'm honored.
So
Thank you.
congratulations. Let's cheers to that real
Cheers
quick.
to
'Cause
that.
do not spill.
Thank you.
Mhm. For those of you who don't know, we at 100 Thieves announced the Spotlight series a few months ago for Women's History Month. So the initiative is designed to inspire and amplify the voices of emerging women creators in the gaming space.
Oh, that's so exciting.
So tell me a little bit, because for anyone who's, new to the podcast or anything, tell us a little bit about yourself so you can kind of learn. I'm sure, we'll see more of you, obviously, but I'm excited.
Of course. Well, yeah, I'm Kaycee. I'm 26 years old. I'm born and raised in San Diego, California.
Woohoo.
I'm currently actually active duty Navy. I'm still in the Navy now as we speak, but I'd separate in September. So my time is pretty limited with the military. And I discovered content creation and Twitch in general like about 3 years ago. Kind of started my streaming journey out on a whim. I was stationed up in Washington State. I know you're like a native to Pac Northwest. Yeah, I was
love
stationed up
it.
in Bremerton, Washington.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, for like a year. And I was able to get back into gaming at the time. And I would play Fortnite with my siblings because my brother's also active duty Navy as well. He was stationed in Japan at the time. I was stationed in Washington, and my little sister was home in California.
Wow.
And we were all pretty close together. So all three of us would spend quality time with each other by playing Fortnite. But because we didn't have a lot of time to spend, because me and my brother were super busy, my little sister had school, we realized that, we wanted to like really relish and cherish those moments as much as we could. So my brother suggested that one of us make a Twitch account just to save the VODs and then watch them and then laugh at them later. And I was like, you know what, I'll do it. I mean, what have I got to lose?
Yeah.
So I made one and then I started streaming and then I had no idea what that entailed. I had to like Urban Dictionary a bunch of Twitch terms. I didn't know anything about Twitch at the
We're
time.
like Pog in the chat.
Yeah,
like,
Pog,
what is that?
KW, what is that? You know? So kind of started that on a whim. Like it was kind of just like to save VODs and like get to know more people in like the gaming space because I was very limited to who I was playing with. It was just my siblings at the time.
Yeah.
And then just like unintentionally made a community and it just like blew out of proportion from there.
I think that's like the most wholesome start I've ever heard to a Twitch channel. Like me, I was like, I can make like an extra $20. Like I literally was like, I can make $20. I'm in. So like you guys just going back and looking at the VODs and like having memories. That's
what we would do. And then we would just like clip little parts like and then just send them to each other and like, oh, remember when we did this like last Friday? Like,
that is so sweet. Yeah, that is wholesome.
That was
you don't get a lot of that. You don't get a lot of that on Twitch. You get people like me.
Yeah, I was super like unfamiliar with the platform and just like content creation in general. And like even I was also just like getting started to get back into gaming. When I was little, I really loved, like story-based games. Like I'm a huge Kingdom Hearts fan. Those are like the kind of games that I used to play when I was a kid. Yes, I love the Kingdom Hearts franchise so much. That was like my childhood. And then, as I grew older, I started playing more shooter games like Star Wars Battlefront, Left 4 Dead, stuff like that. And then never really saw myself getting like anything or any more into like the FPS space. And then I discovered a friend of mine got me into Apex Legends and I was already streaming Fortnite a little bit at the time. And then that's when I started my journey with like taking content creation a bit more seriously.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so Apex is like your main game, you would say, right now?
Definitely, yeah.
But you kind of do different like variety?
Yeah,
or?
every now and then I switch it up, try to, change it up a little bit, do like story-based games or games that are like trending at the time.
Yes.
Just because like it gets repetitive playing the same game over and over again. I love it to death though, but like having to change up the content is always nice.
Yeah, especially too with battle royales. I don't know how you do it. Like every day, because Mason, my boyfriend, does Warzone, and every day. Rise and shine, same thing 10 hours later. I'm
Wake up and boot up Call of Duty.
God, I'm just like, I'm like in pain for him. So props to you because I don't know how.
For sure. Yeah. But I think there's like, I don't know, like a misconception. Or I mean, it's just like, it's the same game over and over again. Obviously, like same maps, same characters. It's the same thing every time you play.
But I love about like Valorant.
Yeah,
like it's literally the same thing.
It's the same thing every day. But I feel like with like shooters, especially like battle royales, like you queue into a game and then it's just a million different outcomes of how it can be.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that's what I love about it the most, for sure.
Yeah. And Apex does a good job of having a lot of like variety and
for sure.
And like, I guess I'm in Valorant.
Representation?
No, well, yes,
that
but
too,
like that too. But I was like, in Valorant, they're agents. Like, I don't know what.
Oh yeah, and then Apex, and there's legends. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So you have different like skills and things like that. But I think Apex does a really, really good job of all that and kind of expanding as they go. But that's really cool. Circling back, sorry, because I heard Kingdom Hearts. I grew up Kingdom Hearts. Yes. Loved it. Did you ever play any Final Fantasy?
No, I never really got into Final Fantasy.
Me either.
Really? Okay, good.
No, and okay, this sounds so like my stream's like, shut the fuck up. Okay, I just did an ad for the new Final Fantasy. And they asked me and I was like, yeah, you guys are on like 16, like I'm good. Like I've never played that in my life. And they're like, no, the point is like we want new people to come into it. That it's like a standalone pretty much every game. So
that's good.
I was like, fine. And I went into the office and they had me play it early. And I literally I couldn't put it down.
Really?
And very much because same Kingdom Hearts.
Idea, yeah.
Same creators, same like.
Oh yeah,
stuff.
I see. Oh, I feel like I would love that then.
You
for sure.
would love because I'm like playing it and like, it just feels like throwback even though it's like a new game. But, oh my god, you should try the new Final Fantasy.
Ooh,
I did and I don't stream long hours because I'm like I think it's like hitting me. I used to be like, my eyes hurt or like I'm tired from being on my screen. No, now it's like I could stream all night, but my knees. Like I'm like
your knees.
What?
I feel like no one about that.
No, I'm like, God, like I gotta like stand up and like stretch out my legs.
Oh, okay. Like, yeah, I see.
But like, I will be sitting there in pain from my knees. Like I could do a 24. I wanted to do a 24-hour when Final Fantasy came out, and I did like 12 hours, and I was like,
and then your knees started.
I was like, I have shooting pain in my knees. You guys, I gotta go. Like,
You tried a new chair or anything, or
No.
recliner?
No, well, fun fact about me, little Brooke tidbit today. I've always had like severe knee problems because I guess when I grew up, you know, like your kneecap is like this and your femur like locks in. And then when you walk, but mine didn't lock in. So mine are like on this. So when I walk, my legs
So it's just
grind.
like rubbing together.
Yeah.
Oh, ow.
So my doctor was like, "You're gonna need like a knee replacement by 30." I was like, "Sure." And then now I'm feeling it. Like
oh
they
my
hurt.
goodness.
Yeah. So it's, honestly, like my knees are the worst part of long streams.
Oh, I see.
I will say. How long do you normally do long
I
streams?
usually do. Yeah, I usually shoot for like longer hours.
You're stronger than me because I just can't do it. I don't know what it is. I think like, especially too, I just got a puppy. So like,
Oh, you did.
I almost feel guilty now. I like did like a 10-hour and I was like, God, I'm terrible.
And then you just want to like hang out with your little puppy.
She looks behind me just like
That's
looking at me with
so
her sad
funny.
eyeballs. So I'm like, okay,
Oh, you gotta
gotta
give
go,
them attention.
guys. Yeah. But I've honestly, as you know, I used to like when in the beginning of my career do long hours and even like COVID, because what else are you gonna do?
Yeah, that's when I was streaming really, really long hours.
Yeah,
Was during COVID.
I mean,
yeah,
I would do like 9-hour days and be like, okay, see you tomorrow.
yeah,
do
then
it
I'll
again.
be like, oh, I'll be live again tonight.
Yeah, and I was just
Yeah.
like, now I'm like really trying to kind of spend my time more wisely because as much as like long hours are great and you know putting the work in your stream is great, I feel like my time is better used
Elsewhere.
like
For
filming
sure.
something like this or
Yeah.
you know like doing this podcast or working on you know my TikTok or filming for Instagram. So stupid. Oh, God, please, I have to take Instagram pictures
She's
today.
booked and
Like,
busy.
I'm busy. I have to take Instagram pictures. I mean, it is a full like production, but like
But I totally get that. Yeah.
I really gave up on everything else. I think for a long time, and so
Yeah.
I'm trying to really kind of chunk my time out.
Yeah,
I guess.
I think I'm in the same, like, kind of becoming more aware of that myself. Like, I've been pretty known to do, like, really long hours and stuff, and then kind of coming to that realization that, like, maybe I should spend my time elsewhere, like, on other platforms. But I think it's just with, like, Twitch streaming, it's just, like, common practice to just, like, crank out streams, and it's just part of the culture, you know? And
It's that grinder
the part
mindset.
of the grind.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's
right?
It is so unhealthy, and like
It really, yeah.
I've learned that this year is like, and even like with other streamers, they're like, oh well, you know, you're a part-time streamer if you're not doing
if you're not
this many
putting
hours.
that many
I'm like,
hours, yeah.
I'm not doing 12 hours a day. I can't.
Yeah, every single day. That's just
Yeah.
unrealistic, you know?
Yeah.
I'm sure you could do that to an extent, but then you're going to feel that burnout. You're just not going to
know.
be like mentally there to like put out yourself to your fullest extent anymore. So yeah, the grind culture is like pretty scary sometimes, you know?
Yeah, well, especially, I mean, so you're still until I think you said September.
September, yeah.
In the Navy. How has that been? Because like for me, I don't know anything. Like, what's that experience like? Like, are you happy with it? Like how it went and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, nowadays I definitely have a lot more time to stream. So like how it works in the Navy is, at least for what my job is in the Navy, you go in and then you do 3 years on a ship. I was on a ship for my first 3 years.
Wow.
Yeah, and I had no time to stream. I actually wasn't gaming too much at all, unless we were like, I had like my Switch, and like before the Switch even came out, I had like my Nintendo DS, and we would all like play. Like Super Smash or like Mario Party, Mario Kart, like while we were on deployment. But like there's no internet on deployment.
Right.
So like I couldn't play games like Apex Legends and stuff like that, you know, like none of the stuff that I can play now.
Yeah.
So I had to take a really long break from gaming when I joined the military. And then how after you do your sea tour, you go to shore. So I'm on shore duty now. I'm not attached. Well, I'm kind of like attached to a ship. But I'm not doing like any active like deployments or like going out to sea nowadays. So I have more time to stream and game, but it's still a pretty busy schedule for sure. Yeah, like I still work throughout the week and then stream in the evenings, and then it's hard to find that balance. But I think I was able to kind of find that within the past like year or so. But it's still difficult to manage for sure.
Oh, I mean, I bet. I'm like, I can't imagine doing hours like that and streaming like you are, and then having a whole other job on top of it. I mean, that's
another day job.
major props to you, because that is like, I couldn't even imagine. I mean, back like when I first started, I was like streaming like at night when I could, because I was,
that's what I do now.
yeah, because I had school, but then like I'm acting like she's in the Navy. I'm like, I had school and then I like worked part-time. Like I had like a tanning salon job. Like, okay, they're a little different, Brooke. So nowhere near, but like you just get the hours where you
can get them. Yeah, basically. Yeah, definitely difficult. But you know, when you love what you do, like our passion for streaming is just like so strong that you're willing to like tank anything to get there.
Yeah. So are you focusing afterwards, like you think you're going to focus more on content creation, like mainly and stuff?
Yeah, definitely. It makes me happy. You know, I love doing anything with like the content creation. I love the community that I built. I want to invest all my time into it instead of just like, you know, when I can, which is what I'm doing now. Just want to be able to just like full force go into content creation.
Oh my god, yeah, that'll be amazing. I'm sure they're so excited too. Like they like probably have a countdown.
Yeah,
like,
we're like counting down the days before I separate. Before I get out.
Oh my god, they're like, you can go live at 10 a.m.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Instead of like staying up like all night and like trying to get stream hours in, I'll be able to like actually have time and like make a schedule that's like realistic, which is like super exciting to have. Wow.
Okay. I have to hear more about this boat, because for me, like I was like, 3 years. Oh no, like that's terrifying. Are you like, I don't like, obviously I don't know how, you probably can't give. I'm like, no, tell me the name of the ship. No, are you like out in the water? Or
yeah,
that's what our boat is. Oh, you mean like open water? That's
like open water, or like, you know, like how they have like at the like docked where they like work on the ships and stuff, or are you like out in the ocean, middle of nowhere?
Like when you're,
are you like on the water? Holy shit,
underwater?
It's just shipwrecked. It's on the beach.
Guys, I'm not that stupid. Like I have my moments, and I swear I'm not that.
So when you're stationed on a ship, how it works is like you obviously do your deployments. That's your time out at sea. But then you spend time in port, like repairing the ship and making sure it's ready for its next deployment. So I did 2 back-to-back deployments, and I did deployments called Westpac deployments, Western Pacific deployments. So I got to see a lot of like Southeast Asia and travel a lot, which was really fun. I think that was like a huge part of the experience, is being able to travel in the Navy is like super eye-opening.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but we definitely spent a lot of time out on the water. I think my first deployment was about 6 months long, and then my second deployment was supposed to be like a 4 or 5 month deployment, got extended, ended up going out for another 6 months.
Holy.
Yeah, and then after my 2 deployments, I did this thing called a RIMPAC. It's like exercises with like the Pacific Fleet, basically, and we do drills and practice as if we're like in a time of war with like 26 allied countries, and we went out to sea for like 2 to 3 months at that point, and you know, just like strengthening like our relationship with neighboring countries and stuff like that. So I got to meet like navies and military personnel from like around the world, like Vietnam, Australia, and like we got to share our experiences of what the military is like in other countries, which is pretty cool.
Oh my gosh. Wow. That's like, obviously, I mean, very hard work, but those are like experiences that you're gonna remember for life. Like, think of all the people you meet and stuff. Wow. So, okay, I just have so many questions.
Yeah, go for it.
Has everyone? No, I don't even want to ask this question anymore. But like, what if like, okay, someone's like, okay, now I'm in the Navy, and you guys go, and they're like, I didn't realize, like, I get seasick very easily.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Do a lot of people get that?
That's a thing. No, yeah, that's a thing. So I was stationed on an aircraft carrier. It's probably the biggest ship. It is the biggest ship in the fleet.
Ones.
Yeah. We have like a whole flight deck up top of our ship. Like we literally call it a floating city, because like when we're underway, when we're out on deployment, I think it's like it gets up to like 5,000 personnel with like squadron on board, because you have people that are actually stationed to the ship, and then we have like a handful of like different squadrons that come in that help support, and like they stay on board too during deployments. There's literally thousands of people on board one ship.
So you don't even feel like you're really like in the middle of the ocean. You're kind of like
definitely
like a city. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's a floating city.
So when you get in like one that's smaller than that.
Oh yeah, they're like, I mean, that was just like the ship that I was personally on.
Yeah.
They're like ships that with crews as small as like 200-300 people, and you can imagine how like small that feels when you're out to sea for like 6, 7, 8 months at a time. You know everybody's personal stories. You get really close with one another. But at least like on an aircraft carrier like what I was on, you like meet someone new every day. You see someone new every day.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, but back to the seasickness. I actually have a terrible story. I don't know if like you get queasy or anything.
No, Jesse, no, you're good.
I remember I think it was my second deployment. We had just gone underway, and like usually with a big ship, you don't really feel the waves too much, right? But that's usually because we have a bunch of aircraft on board, but the squadron don't fly on until like maybe a week or so into the deployment. So it was just the ship, and we were like facing some pretty high swells, so we definitely like felt it. And I remember I was doing this training all the way up forward, so the very front of the ship where you feel the waves the most. Yeah. So there was like this training that was happening. And all of us were literally, you could just like see the room tilt as we're like sitting down. And like a lot of us don't have our sea legs. A lot of people that, we call it sea legs.
Yeah.
Like, if you get like nauseous easily. And there was a lot of new people on board, never experienced seasickness before. And we were all just kind of like waiting for the training to start. And then it started with one person. One person got up, was like, I got to throw up, right? So he like bolts to the front of like, the area that we're in front of the room, and then like throws up in the trash can. And then it just took that one person to start a chain reaction. Then another guy was like, I gotta throw up, but he didn't have anywhere to throw up.
Oh no!
Yeah, so we found him a plastic bag. He threw up, and then they start handing out plastic bags.
Right,
and then like at that point, they're not handing out plastic bags fast enough because like everyone is just starting like to feel that chain reaction. There's this one guy that like tried to hold it in. He was sitting behind me, and then he like bolts to the front, tries to get that trash can that guy's throwing up in, doesn't make it, throws up in front of him. The ship is tilting, so he like tilts and slips on his throw up, slips on his butt, like into his throw up. And at that point, I had to leave. I could no longer be there. Like I was dying of secondhand embarrassment, and I thought I was gonna throw up.
Well, if the second guy started, I would have been like,
honestly, I should have left that situation a long time ago. But I kind of wanted to see how it unfolded.
Yeah, you're like, how bad
I kind of want to see this. I kind of want to see how this happens. And then I left that whole situation. Never finished that training. And,
they're like, everyone get out.
That was wild. It felt like a scene out of a movie.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Because I imagine it's like, I'm that way. If like someone does it, I'm like.
Because I have a pretty strong stomach. Like I don't get nauseous too easily. Like I don't get motion sickness or anything. But as soon as I see someone else throw up, if I smell it, I'm like, oh yeah,
nope,
I gotta leave.
Done.
It's done. Done deal. I gotta leave.
That is like nightmare scenario.
Yeah, that was literally a nightmare. I lived a nightmare.
God, that's so scary. Okay, real quick. Bless your soul. Thank you so much. Let me just
it's already fused with the table.
Sorry about that, guys.
That little blue stain on the table.
Look at that.
Oh, it didn't even stain.
No.
Not at all.
Juvie wouldn't dream of staining our nice table. That is, oh my gosh, yeah, that is nightmare.
Honestly,
scenario. So
I don't know how I survived that.
Props to you, because like I don't think I get like seasick, but I mean, I imagine if I lived on it, there's got to be at least one point where I'm like.
Yeah, that was probably the only time I ever really felt seasick. But again, I was on like a bigger boat, so you don't really feel it. But when you're on like a smaller vessel, like a smaller design ship where you really feel the rocking of the waves, I feel like you really feel it. Like when I'm like on a tiny boat, I kind of feel a little bit of that motion sickness, but like not super crazy.
Okay, so being like in the Navy, like this whole like this Titanic stuff that happened, did you know like instantly? Were you like, oh no, it's like not?
Yeah,
because you have more like sea expertise than the people on Twitter. Who are
me personally, I don't even like have like the credentials for that either. Because like there's like a. So you have the typical like Navy job of being like on a ship, but there's actually like different rates or like jobs in the Navy where you're actually like stationed on a submarine. Like that's where like your vessel is like a submarine, which I don't have any experience in, but like, seeing the whole
thank God if I'd be like never going down there ever.
Yeah, it's just like I think it's just they promise that like, the submarine like it's a really fun vessel to be on. They try to like sell it, and then they're like, oh, a submarine sounds cool because like you only see like the movies and stuff of like what it's actually like, and Yeah, it's not super ideal. It feels like you're sardines packed into a
Oh,
tiny little
I can't imagine.
area. Yeah,
My
I can't
claustrophobia,
imagine.
I'd be like,
Oh, me too.
yep, knowing
Me
there's no
too.
escape, but you're
Yeah,
underwater.
You're just trapped.
This is obviously super comparable. At Disneyland, I went on the submarine for Finding Nemo.
Oh, the Nemo ride.
Oh God, it's so uncomfortable.
It
Because
really
it's so
is.
small.
Right, it really is.
Disneyland, get rid of that. What is that?
No, they like. It's a terrible ride.
That is the worst ride at Disneyland. And you go down, and it's not even like, maybe if like, it was like a screen on the side, but you go to the little hole and
The
there's
little
like,
porthole, right? It's like so tiny.
it's a tiny porthole, and then it's like,
Yeah.
I'm Nemo, like whatever.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is the ride? Like, what is this?
It's so underwhelming. It's so disappointing because it looks cool. I think like that when you're in line, you're like, oh, I can't wait to ride
Look
it.
at it go.
Yeah. No, it's the worst riding it in the summertime too, because like everyone's sweating. Everyone's just packed into like tiny.
And it's like 30 people, like just
so
sitting
many
like
people.
this close.
You know,
like,
you
so
got like
close to
that
each
family
other.
of like 8 with the matching Disney
Oh
t-shirt
my
sitting
God.
next to you, and then everyone's crying, and then
That's
like,
actually, I'm like, oh my God, that's gonna be me in the future.
That would be the worst ride to break down.
yeah.
It
Can you
has to
imagine getting
be.
stuck?
I never even thought about that. Oh my
It's like
God.
it's one thing to get stuck on a roller coaster, you know,
Yeah.
like when you're, you know, at
you can
least
look
you have like the open
around.
air.
Or
yeah.
the other rides, you can just like they tell you just get out
Yeah, like
here.
get off. Yeah, like I
Right.
couldn't imagine getting stuck on that Finding Nemo
Ew.
ride.
Do
That
you like,
does not
do you
sound
like that
fun.
comparison?
Uh,
People in the Navy
Yeah,
who
I
actually
know.
work hard. I'm like, no. So when I went on the Finding Nemo ride, I really felt that. Like, oh my God,
You're actually stronger than the U.S. Marines.
I am their strongest soldier. I went on the Finding Nemo.
You actually qualify for a veterans discount.
Thank you.
If you've ridden, the Finding Nemo ride at Disneyland.
My sister and I we went. I think what the Transformers ride is at
Universal.
Universal.
I like that one.
good ride, but they're in the military uniform.
Oh yeah.
My sister was like, "Thank you for
you
your
service." And then you salute them.
I wonder like how many times a day they get lit. Thanks for their
Right, thank you for your service.
your service.
And it's just some kid with a summer job.
like an 18-year-old in like a dress up.
Right, playing dress up, playing pretend.
Oh my God, that's if there's one thing about this podcast, I'm gonna bring it back to Disneyland.
you do
I love
every
that.
single
I
time.
love Disneyland.
I don't know how I do it. I think it's one of my many talents. Few talents. I can get anything connected to Disneyland. I love talking
I
about
think
it.
I love that because I love talking about Disneyland. So
I think what it's all going to come down to is like shooting one of these episodes at Disneyland.
I know.
you
That's
should
where
make
it all
that happen.
culminates.
That
We
would
just
be
need
so
to-
fun.
One of these days, just make a collage of every time Brooke has talked about Disneyland. And I'll show up for work one day, you're like, surprise, we're going to Disneyland. Because I don't know how I do it. I am the Disney adult. Well, no,
love
Cutie's
that.
the Disney adult. I
She's the
piggyback off
Disney
of her
adult.
and like, she shows me the way. Oh my gosh. I'm very happy with how I'm feeling because I woke up this morning so tired and I was like, no, not on shoot day. I swear the last few shoot days I've come in, I've been like zombie mode and we're moving right now. So
Oh, I feel that. I just moved too. Isn't it such a pain?
It's the worst.
It's literally the worst.
It's the worst. I wouldn't wish this upon anyone.
Yeah.
And especially because Jack, our roommate, being the smart individual that he is, got people to pack and move his stuff.
Nice. Wait, did you not? Did you move everything by yourself?
They were gonna do it like all at once, but for me, I had like a sponsor that day, so I couldn't have them pack my stuff or move it, and so I was like, we're just gonna do them like next week. We'll just hire them to come back. Well, Mason gets to thinking, and he goes, "Why would we pay someone when I could do this myself?"
Oh no.
No.
Why do
no.
boyfriends think that?
I think my tiredness.
the same way.
No, I think my tiredness comes from dealing with him right now. I don't think it's the moving. I'm so fed up with him. Mason, if you watch this, I'm sick of your shit. He's like, oh, I'll just do it. And I was like, no, we're going to get someone because I'm not even going to start this. And he goes, you're not even going to know. You're going to be like, what? It's already there? So I was like, just remember, you're the one saying this. I want you to remember that. And so we're moving. And the first day, half my closet's already there. I mean, like, our beds. I was like, wow, I'm wrong. Well, now, a week later, and that's about all that's there.
In the closet. Yeah, it's important, though.
And so last night, the nerve of some... Sorry. I didn't do it. I didn't break anything. The nerve that this guy has. I was speechless. So I said, because I went to a bridal shower this weekend. My dresses are at one house. My like bra and underwear is at one house.
Oh, that's so
My
inconvenient.
makeup is split between the two houses.
Oh my
I mean,
goodness.
so I'm literally going boom, 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 boom to get ready.
Yeah, back and forth.
So then, oh my God. So yesterday, I'm like, okay, Mason, it's time. Shower stuff, makeup, hangers, I need them here.
One
Like,
collective
I'm like, I
area.
have to have it in one thing. I need them here.
Yep.
And so I'm giving him the list of what I need. He goes, anything else you need? And I literally I felt like it was like a movie, like slow-mo, like, what did you just say? Like, he was like, what else do you need? Anything else? He's like, I'm already packing the whole house. I'm like, you chose this.
You did this.
I was so mad. I was like, how dare you? And then he came back with all of it because I was like, yeah. But it is the biggest headache, and I will never, ever let him talk me into anything like this ever again.
That is so funny. Yeah, my boyfriend's the same way. He's like, I could easily move this in like one day. And I was like, I'm sure you can. But why would we do that
But
to
why?
ourselves? Like,
But
why would you not just have someone else do it for you?
That is my exact thoughts. I'm like, I'm not doubting your abilities.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah.
I am, however, doubting how quickly you can do it.
Right.
How many trips it's gonna take you.
Yeah.
Because I brought in Shelby, my best friend from home. She does part-time like assistant work for us. Well, for me, I don't even know why I said us right there. Me, but Mason's acting like it's us. He goes, Shelby will just drive me. So she's been making every
Shelby's
trip.
a trooper.
I know, because Mason doesn't have his license.
Oh.
So he can't, or else he would just drive himself.
Wait, he wanted to do it himself and he can't drive the stuff there?
Yeah, he said, Shelby can drive me. She's a compact, like, tiny car.
Oh my goodness.
No, this has been like the most stressful.
I feel like there was very limited thought process behind.
No,
you
there
know?
was no thought process.
He was just like, go, go, go.
Zero thought process.
That's so wild.
Zero thought process. And then I texted him this morning. I'm like, I'm just very stressed. None of my stuff's here. Like, please, like, let's just really like lock it in. He goes, what's the rush? He goes, there's no rush right now. He goes, you're stressing yourself out for nothing. I was like,
Just having her stuff in different places is just so stressful.
And I'm like a very stressed out person. That is, if someone asks me like my main personality trait, it's like being stressed out. And his is like not giving a shit. So like
it balances out.
We really do balance each other very well because he's the most nonchalant. Like if we were moving something and say we dropped a mirror, I would like burst into tears and be
I would
like,
be the same. Yeah, I would probably cry.
he would be like, oh my God, that's so silly of us. Let's just get a new one. Like,
so silly.
like he just is we are so opposite, which works out really, really well for us, I will say. But when you're moving.
Yeah, definitely not a time to laugh it off.
Not a time to laugh it off at all. I'm glad that you're having a really, really fun time.
I love how he's making light of the situation, though. Me personally, I would cry.
Yeah, no. So I'm like, I'm over it. Well, do you have any pets?
I do. I have 2 cats.
Cats.
Yeah, I have 2 flame point Siamese cats. They're kittens, actually. They turn a year in like a couple months. Yeah, I just adopted them kind of recently. And their names are Momo and Boomy. They're named after Avatar characters because they have the little striped tail and green eyes.
Oh
yeah,
my
so they look like
gosh.
Momo from Avatar: The Last Airbender.
That is the cutest thing I've ever heard. So how is it being a mother?
It's so great. I think cats are such an ideal pet for streamers. Because like
I'm learning that.
Because like originally I wanted to adopt a dog. I was looking to adopt a toy poodle, like a brown toy poodle.
That's what I just got.
Really? Yeah, that's what I wanted. And I was gonna name him Katsu. Like I was like I already had this whole idea in my head. And then I like kind of thought it through and I was like, I don't think I'm ready for the responsibility of a dog right now. Just because like, you know, obviously I have like I'm active duty, you know, like
have
I don't
a lot
know.
going on. Yeah.
And then like streaming and stuff on the side. So like I think cats are just like ideal for me. So I ended up like going to an adoption center, fell in love with Momo. I adopted Momo first.
Yeah.
Yeah, fell in love with her. And then I went back to the same adoption center. She has 2 sisters from the same litter. I adopted originally 3 cats. So I adopted her sisters as well. So Momo, Boomy, and I had an Appa. But Appa didn't work out. She was like kind of one of those cats that has to be the only cat in the household.
She's fighting with everyone.
Fighting. You know, she was like the menace, I think, of the 3 of them. So I ended up giving her back to the shelter that I adopted her from. But from what I know, I think she's adopted now, which is great. She has like another home now. But I have Momo.
Where she's
and
the
Boomy.
boss of the house.
Yeah, she's the boss. Yeah, the queen of the house, as she should be. You know. So all 3 or all 2 of my cats are my babies. Love being a cat mom.
That is so cute. And then they have each other to entertain each other.
Yeah, that's why I went back to adopt another one.
Smart.
Yeah, because like I always felt so bad leaving Momo by herself when I'd go to work or if I like stream really long and I'd be like, oh, we need someone to play with. So I went back and got her sister.
Well, we just got, that's so funny you said that. We just got Peanut.
Yeah.
Little Peanut. She's very small.
Peanut.
So we're starting to think, well, Mason went to see her. I was in Oregon actually when he went to see her because I was begging, please give me a dog. Please. Well, actually, I think, did I tell this on the, this is my problem. I can never remember if I tell things on my podcast or my stream.
This might be a stream story.
This might be, I told him, I was like, well, we're approaching 4 years. Like, 4 years together, that's a long time. And I was like, well, okay, here's what I want. For 4 years, I said, you can either get me an engagement ring or you can get me a dog. And then he got me a dog. I was like, okay. So whatever. It's like, well, he made that clear. So we got a dog and she's very cute.
But where's the ring?
I'm like, well, he's like allergic to dogs, so I really thought he's not gonna do that.
Oh, what? Wait, but then
he's
a toy poodle, no? So he's hypoallergenic. Because my family has a toy poodle also, but I'm still kind of allergic to him. Yeah,
so
I'm the
Mason
same way.
has like severe. So our old roommates had a golden doodle.
Okay.
What are supposed to be like hypoallergenic-ish.
Yeah.
He would break out in hives, couldn't breathe. Like he's severely allergic to dogs.
Wow.
And so he went and met the poodle first and the parents and he was fine. So we were like, we're good to go then. Well, just over time, it's gotten worse. So he went to the doctor and is doing the drops in the mouth.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, so over time, it's supposed to build like a
tolerance to like allergies. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's doing that, but right now I was like, there's no way. I was like, Mom, I'm getting engaged. No. But we got the dog and she's really, really sweet. But as time goes on, we're thinking she's not a toy poodle.
Oh, what?
Because, well, one, his allergies are very bad, but they could be with anyone or any dog. But toy poodles, I don't know your families, how big they are. I think we were expecting like 7, 8, 9 pounds.
Oh, yeah. No, he's kind of a big boy.
He's even bigger. Okay.
So we thought, he ended up growing a little bit bigger than we thought he was going to also. Yeah.
We thought we were going to be like 6 to 10 pounds, like something around there.
Yeah, tops, right?
Well, we're having the opposite issue. She's 2.5 pounds right now.
She's tiny. Wait, how old is Peanut?
She's like 5 months right now.
5 months and she's only like that big?
She's like, boom. And so the vet told us that she'll be full grown at 6 months.
Oh.
And she's 2.5 pounds right now.
Full grown?
I'm like, that is not a toy poodle then.
Yeah.
So
wait, what breed of dog do you think that would be?
I don't know. She also like, still her ears are very pointed like up. They haven't flopped over.
Oh.
So I'm like, I wonder if she's like mixed with like a chihuahua or something.
Probably,
I don't know. But she's tiny. She's a little girl. So yeah, we'll see. Maybe she'll have a growth spurt.
Yeah, maybe, watch, she's gonna be like Clifford.
I know.
Like 6 months. Her growth spurt happens next month.
She has 1 month left to grow.
1 month left before she's done.
I know. Well, that's what I was thinking. I was like, well, like she's got to grow sometime, and she's a toy poodle. She's not going to be 3 pounds.
Yeah, maybe she's a late bloomer.
Maybe she is. But I'm curious. We got to check with the other dogs in her litter. She was the runt as well.
Oh yeah, Momo was the runt in her litter too.
So we knew she would be a little bit smaller than expected, but this is like a lot smaller than we expected. So now we're at the point where like, okay, our bed frame gets here, and I'm having to order those like stairs.
Oh, because she
my
can't
dog.
get out on the.
We have the mattress on the floor right now, and she can barely hop up.
Oh,
like she is. When I say she's
tiny,
she's tiny. She's a bitty baby. Yeah,
Get a trampoline.
I know.
A trampoline.
Trampoline there, just
I know. Well, she can't even do stairs. I was trying to teach her yesterday.
So trampoline is ideal.
Yeah, you just throw your body at it and it launches you right into it.
Anytime I go up or downstairs, scoop her
You
up.
gotta scoop her up. Oh, because she can't climb the stairs.
They're too big in between. She can't do stairs.
Poor baby.
How about a slide?
With slide.
Put a little slide by the side of the stairs.
You think Jack would let me?
Jack would love it. Are you kidding me?
He would, right?
Just make sure he doesn't take the slide.
That is for Peanut and Peanut only.
Peanut's only going down the slide.
It's off limits.
No, he's my landlord now. That's a scary thought, isn't it? Oh God. I know. She even like sniffs on the rug. I'm like, get away from there. Like, she's like, I'm scared for my life. I'm like, Jack, don't worry. She's a perfect angel. And she's like peed on my bed 3 times already.
Well, I'd imagine it's not that much since she's so tiny, right?
Thankfully,
That's like
it's very small. I think she's just like acting out right now because not only the move, but like I feel like she's like a teenager right now. Because this morning, the first night we got there, she peed on the bed, and I was like, it's okay, she's adjusting. It's fine.
Yeah.
We go to bed. She was sleeping on the bed with us, and I wake up, and I like look. She pooped and peed on her pee pad on the floor. So she hopped down and hopped. I was like, she's a genius. She figured it out already. I was like, yes. So then this morning I wake up. She hops down, goes poop on it. Again, she's a genius. She hops back up. We cuddle. And then I wake up like an hour later and I get up to go to the bathroom and I come back, just pile of her peeing on my bed, on my brand new comforter.
No.
My white comforter.
No, that's mine too. Oh, no. You know what's crazy about cats? It's that like they just know how to use a litter box. It's crazy. I didn't know that.
Like how do they just like?
They just know. Like I took Momo home.
Going on the floor.
Yeah, they just like know. Like I had the litter box set up before Momo got home, or before I took her home, and she was like I think she was like 4 months, 5 months at the time. She's like really tiny. And then like I'm like Googling and like YouTubing how to like potty train your cat, and then I like look over and she's just using the litter box, and I was like,
oh my gosh,
whoa, like no effort involved.
They're
whatsoever.
so smart.
They're so like ideal, like crazy. They're so smart.
My Peanut, you're very pretty, but not a lot going on up here. Mason goes, look how small she is. She has a small brain. It's okay. I'm like, you know what? That's fair enough.
So I got a quick off-topic question.
Run it.
For Casey. So we were doing our normal research, and I saw that you actually do like a ton of cosplay. I saw like Loba, Zero Suit Samus, Diva. Like, how did you get into that?
Really?
I don't know. I think it just kind of comes hand in hand with like streaming and stuff, because I usually cosplay, the characters in the video games that I play. Like I've done Loba, Lifeline, stuff like that, and then like Zero Suit Samus from like Metroid 2. I just kind of decided to do it one day. I was like, it's kind of like feeding my inner child. I'm dressing up as like the characters that I like playing in video games, and I'll do like cartoon characters sometimes too. Like I did Chigo kind of recently also. Which is
I bet that one was so good.
That was super fun. Yeah, I just love dressing up as like, and I love like Halloween's like my favorite holiday.
Yeah.
So like dressing up and stuff is always really fun. Having an excuse to dress up into like different like characters, cartoon characters, video game characters is always fun.
That's amazing.
So yeah.
Wow. I've always wanted to, but I like
You would kill it.
I don't know.
You haven't cosplayed before?
Wait, yeah, you've never cosplayed ever?
Yeah. The
I've
closest
never,
thing you
ever.
did is when we did that like makeover. Well, not really makeover show. Remember we went goth?
Yeah.
What?
They did. So we actually did like a makeover show kind of thing where it's like, what's something like you haven't tried before? Like you want to, dress a certain way. So I did like goth.
Ooh.
And so like that was kind of fun. I loved that. But I'd never like done like a character.
Like cosplay. Oh,
Now that I
see.
think about it, I'm pretty sure. Okay, I'm looking into the camera to my stream. You guys are awesome, and I'm apologizing in advance. I think 2 years ago I did a subathon, and one of the sub goals was
it cosplay?
Was a cosplay, and I
It
never
never
did.
happened.
I think it was Daenerys from Game of Thrones.
Oh, you would kill that.
Hey guys! So about that cosplay, it's on the way. Slight delay.
It's like, a couple years too
The
late.
shipping got messed up.
Better late than never.
Oh my gosh!
It's because you're moving, it's because you're busy.
I was wondering why they called
Was that when the show was still on?
No, okay, wait, maybe not that long. No. I hope not. I was always wondering why they're calling subathons scamathons. Now I
I'm a part of the problem.
Am I the drama? Am I part of the problem?
Oh my god! Wait. Okay, I think I didn't do like 3 things. I just actually took their money and I
All of
ran.
these incentives
Maybe
that
I
never
should,
happened.
I think I was supposed to do 5 Nights at Freddy's.
Ooh, I've actually never played Five Nights at Freddy's.
I'm pretty sure I promised VR for that, and I'm telling them right now I'm not doing that. I don't think I can even do regular without crying, but I'll do it. Oh my gosh, wow, I really am a scammer.
Scamathon.
Brooke AB canceled for scamming the kids.
You came to this realization and just
I'm,
admitted it to your kid.
Okay, I'll make it up to everyone. I say this and then I'm never gonna do it. Have you ever done a subathon before?
Once, yeah.
Was it a good experience?
Yeah,
for you?
I mean, it was fun. Yeah, it's just I don't have time to do those 24-hour
Right. No,
camp
can't.
subathons. I wish I could, but I don't have too much experience with subathons.
Yeah, my friend
Yeah.
who streams, shout out to Minky, hi. He works, so he does I think a lot of my friends do actually. They stream, and they'll do a subathon, but then when they have to stream, end their stream to go to work or go to bed for work, and they just start the timer where they picked up the next day. So
I
it's
see.
and then they have the incentives and stuff, but it doesn't have to be
Straight
continuous all
a
at once.
continuous
So it's
stream.
kind of
Okay.
ends up being a week-long extravaganza.
Oh, that's kind of fun. I never thought about that. Yeah.
Because I will say, it's always tough. I know subathons are the thing, but it's hard. Half the time I swear people are asleep or just playing videos on the screen. I'm well, shit. I'm about to do that. But I get it because you're you don't want to end your stream, so you have to have something up there.
Yeah.
But I think that's a cool way to kind of
That's a good loophole.
yeah, you just end the timer and start it
and
back
then start it up when you're awake. Yeah.
Right. Yes. Or they have a rule where okay, I have to stream every day, but it's just not continuous.
one continuous stream. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That's
I think
cool.
I did the last scamathon I did, shall I say. Let me rephrase that for you guys. I think I did a 24-hour cap. So it was we're not going past a 24 hour.
That's
if you guys
it. Clocking out at 24 hours.
Bye. Well, especially as I'm acting well, as I get older, you guys. I'm 20, I'm 25. I'm in my old age, you guys, I must prioritize my health.
Your health, your sleep.
My knees.
Yeah, my knees, dude, my
Brooke's
knees. They hurt. They really, really hurt bad. And so, yeah, I'm trying to prioritize, healthy hours. Less of the grind set. Well, my grind set goes to other places. Because I will say, and Alex, this is for my stream also. Alex, thank you very much.
Yeah.
In advance. They're always part-time streamer. I work, just not on stream.
It's very true.
not on
I
stream.
can attest to that. She shows up to this podcast and she's got her notes that have been reviewed by her mother.
Thank you.
Proofread
For extra
Thank you,
proof.
Mom. Thank you.
She comes with different ideas.
Yeah. And what about the shoots? We have shoot days.
The shoot days on top of that.
4 days
You're-
a week. No.
Usually 4 days a week. No, but you usually show up first. You know, you're always
Never
asking
late.
what's going down, or I already read the email.
Ooh, you're already one step ahead of the game every time.
I think we talked about this on this podcast once that I was the teacher's pet, and I think I still am. I think I'm like first one down there. I'm like, don't worry about explaining it to me. I have the ad read that I've already made up in my head, and I have it memorized, and you don't have to worry about explaining because I read the email. So I just carry that on into
prepared always.
I gotta have something going for me. Oh my goodness.
That is
Okay,
so
so
funny.
tell us, like, obviously you have a big change coming up where you're gonna, full-time content creation, or I think full-time.
Yeah,
Are you doing full-time?
that would be the plan.
Not me
yeah.
putting that on you. I'm like, she's going full-time.
Now I have to.
No. So what do you see, just to kind of wrap everything together, future goals for yourself? Where do you see your, content going? Is there anything that you want to kind of focus more on or try out?
Honestly, just being able to have that freedom to be able to just put my full time into, streaming and full time into, the content that I love creating. I don't really have like one set goal. I kind of just take it day by day and try to continue to grow my community and, set a great example for, the people that are within my community as well. Kind of set that goal to have that reciprocating relationship between me and my viewers and my community to continue to uplift each other and inspire each other, because I feel like a lot of my community finds inspiration in me, but I constantly remind them that they are inspiration to myself as well. And that's why I continue to do what I do and why I continue to take it one day at a time and things like that.
I love that. I love that. Yeah, I think especially, when you're able, to put all that time in and really work on building your community. I mean, I see nothing but really, really great things for your future. I mean, this is the first time that we've even met, and sitting here and being, so open and easy to talk to. I really appreciate that. And I think that speaks a lot on, who you are as a person and your work ethic. Hello. You come all the way here, and you are our first ever recipient.
I'm so honored. I had no idea.
You didn't have, I was worried. I'm like,
had no idea.
know? Did she know?
No, I had no
Oh,
idea.
that makes me so happy.
That makes me happy too.
Well, we are so proud of you. Your community is going to be so proud of you too. I mean, very, very huge accomplishment. So, guys, look for more out of Kaycee. I'm sure, she is going to do amazing things with her content creation. So thank you so much for coming on.
That is so nice of you to say.
Of course.
Thank you.
Yes, we loved having you on, and I'm excited for your future.
Well, thank you.
Yes, of course. Where can they find you?
Kayceeedilla on all socials. Kayceeedilla with 3 E's everywhere. Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. It's all the same.
Love it. Love it. Consistency is key. Thank you guys for listening and watching. If you are on Spotify, give us some stars. If you're on YouTube, give us the likes, the comments, all of that. Let us know who you want to see on the podcast, and we will see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.